Hey y'all, happy Friday. Yes, I have survived. Yes, I have not been on here very much, so sorry about that. Um yeah, the healing is getting better. If you're new here, uh I have gone through some hell. And the reason I started documenting everything on YouTube was because I was going through hell. Um the narcissistic abuse and the toxic relationship kind of dynamic was full force when I started to record and put a lot of this stuff out on YouTube. Um, since then, I had told my stories of my experiences. I had recapped, I had a lot to say. And now, um, commencing healing. And here's the thing, um, I don't care how long you've been away from the toxic element, um, you're never healed. Yes, I'm plucking on my eyelashes because I wear like 3 or 4 layers of like coats of mascara, and my eyes were watering earlier. So yeah, just forgive me. This is kind of like a fucking habit of mine. All right, I'm just trying to make the lashes even so you're not staring at one eyeball. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I had a watery eye here earlier. I had like, it felt like I had a goopy in it. It turned out it was like a stray hair, and it kept like grabbing an eyelash, and I kept like rubbing it. And so I literally like was trying to get this hair to detach from my eyelashes, and I plucked all of my mascara off while I was at work. Anyway, so just let you know, yeah, I'm quirky as fuck. Um, I like to cook. I have a lot of different hobbies and, you know, just responsibilities. I saw earlier today on YouTube a content creator who I was like, oh, I love her. It is a woman who knows engines, who knows how to work on cars, uses the F word like I do. Oh, her and I could be friends. Yeah, I'm not always worried about narcissism. However, what I experienced basically brought me here. The reason I started this channel was to talk about concrete, and that is what I usually talk about. It was basically the concepts, the company aspects of my occupation. I love what I do. Yeah, earlier today, they had me pinned between two forms. I had like inches between tires, right? Like an inch in the front on the right and an inch in the back on the left. And I would like kitty cornered in there. The guy's like, "You want to put a chute on?" I was like, "No, we're going to jam it because I'm only about 2.5 yards from empty." He's like, "You sure?" I'm positive. Put it in park, hit the gas, and he's like, "Perfect." I was like, "Yep," and now I'm empty. He's like, "You weren't kidding." Dude, I can't even tell you how many hundreds of thousands of yards. It's probably upwards of 1 million or more that I have poured. Mm-hmm. Over a 10.5 year period. And I would say it's probably close to 500,000 of it is industrials. Slab stuff where you go in, you hit discharge, you don't stop, you run it like a typewriter until they tell you to move over. once you get a knack on it, you sit in a certain spot and you typewriter it out, and you literally, your truck just pivots on a 180, and you can do an entire 10-yard spread with 2 chutes and hardly move the truck at all. Yeah. 3 minutes, 40 seconds. Peace out. Yes, do it all the time. About 3-4 times a week. Anyway, so yeah, and it's usually at night. So I work nights. I get on here. I try to do stuff from the driver's seat a lot of times. If I'm really, really tired and I got a lot of stuff to talk about, I'll be rolling the highway and I'll be gabbing on the camera. Lately, I haven't been emotional enough about anything in particular to talk about. I'm basically listening to the Y-Files 24-hour type of thing, or music, trying to keep my sanity. There comes a time in the healing process, and your healing journey may be a fly-by-night and likely destined to repeat history, or it may be a very prolonged journey. I am not a psychologist. I do have the books. I know myself. I know what I've dealt with. I know my trauma. I know my inner child. I know all of my past crap that I've done the, God, what is it called? EMDR, EDMR, whatever kind of training for trauma. There's an electronic version. I have a video somewhere in the however many I've got where you can actually pay, and it's like a little computer thing, and you watch a little ball bounce up and down, back and forth, whatever. And you follow it with your eyes, and you think about, situations and whatnot. The last relationship that I was actually in, it was technically on and off from the fucking very beginning. But my involvement with him was a little over a year, and the manipulation, the betrayal, the deception, the heartache, the trauma bonding that he created within this dynamic was so intense that basically I vowed to probably be single for the rest of my life. And I'm not heartbroken about it. It's just, I like to discuss these type of things outside of my job element, because I can talk about my job all day long. I love my job. I mean, when I'm pinned between forms and stuff, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, we're empty. Okay, now get me out of this rat trap. Just another day in concrete. And the guy on the ground is laughing, and I'm like, it's all right. It's all good. We've been here, done that. Not my first rodeo. Just get me out of here. I don't want to tear anything up. And I'm smiling about it because it's just another day, in the land that I live for every single day. My involvement with him, I go into detail. I go into the psychological and, the psychoanalytical dynamics of it. He was discussing, he's a single dad. Baby mama's kind of a pain in the ass. I come to find out that I don't know why I flipped it. I I don't know what his perceptions of her are. He's twisted. The guy's twisted. Baby mama is fine. She's a great girl, you know. She got her head, you know, on her shoulders. She has a good beat on things. Kid is better off with her. I after having dealt with Daddy, I can understand why she was a little loopy at the beginning when the kid was a baby, you know, postpartum and everything else. You know, there's a lot to be said. And the judge who awarded this evil fuck with custody, yeah. And he thought it was great because they did a whole fucking, like, spread on him in the newspaper and, you know, a big internet article and everything about how this judge, you know, this male obtained custody of, you know, yeah. And it was the worst fucking thing they could have ever done for the child. Honest to fucking God. Honest to God. That kid has been through therapy. He's 16 now. That's how long I've known this child. 5 years. He was 11 going on 12. Well, 4 years. Anyway. Me and the baby mama used to talk intermittently. You know, every couple of months. Whatever. And for the health of him, basically, you know, I've seen the court order. Basically, it's like a no contact disposition. Me and the dad are not to be together around the child. That's what it says. If I were to call her and be like, hey, let's go to lunch, me, you, and the kid, that is legal. According to the write-up. But I've never bugged her about it. She's just frustrated as fuck that she had to go through what she went through for, God, 5 years with this son of a bitch. And so a lot of my trauma, not so much on my own personal perspective, it's understanding her disposition, having dealt with him, and the kid, and the whole scenario is twisted. Now, if you've been watching YouTube and you see these shorts where this woman, she's like calling out her husband for being a cheating asshole, and these, you know, mistresses call her thinking she's his sister and shit like that. You know, the emotional frustration that one feels watching that is the same type of aggravation that I felt while I was with him. I did a video. It got like, God, 1,100 views like overnight. And I'm literally in the raw. I'm in my sleep shirt. I got this epiphany. I put the record on and I started talking. And I was like, you know what? That's pretty good data, right? And fucking upload it. Shit, like, it almost went viral. I'm like, no. I don't want to go viral. And then I got some crazy Karen on there saying, you need to brush your hair and yada, 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 yada. And I'm like, crazy lady? That attitude right there is what sends most people who have been sober for 3 weeks right back into fucking remission, and they end up relapsing. While I was with this man, I drank like a fish. I'm talking a fish. In order to settle my nerves. Now, it's Friday. These are the first drinks I've had since Sunday. Literally. I had a pretty long day. What was it? Like Wednesday? I got home and I didn't even drink an entire glass. I went to the bathroom, took my bath, went to bed. Three years ago, I can remember 3 years ago, where I would come home and I would literally polish off 8 to 10 beers and talk to this fucking for hours. And then I would pick the best one, hopefully the most sober one, and upload it. The entire time I was with him, I required 3 or 4 beers just to calm my nerves before he got home from work. And then I would require several more after he got home from work. Because he was ornery. Just fucking ornery. Temperamental. It's kind of like you listen to people discuss narcissistic abuse where you can tell what kind of mood they're in by the way they set their keys on the counter. You can tell what kind of mood they're in by the way they walk. You can tell the kind of mood they're in from the expression on their face. All of it, everything that they talk about is the shit that I went through in a very short period of time. So it wasn't like weaning. It wasn't like it started off like this and then a year later it kind of grew to this, and then a year after that it grew into this. It was a month here, a month there, a month here, and a month there. And by the 5th month, shit was cray-cray. And the only thing that was in my head at that time was, who the fuck is going to take up for this child? Because the system and the relationships and everything had been so manipulated that I couldn't even make a sound decision. I couldn't make better decisions. It's like, okay, what are my choices here? Okay, do I shake the entire time because I'm fucking nervous? My anxiety is through the roof and I'm going to have a panic attack. Get the kid out of there and fucking escape to somebody. Now, there was several times, had I been a with it enough, I could have said, pack a bag right now. We're heading to your grandfather's. And him and I could have escaped to the grandfather's. They would have listened to me. But I didn't have enough evidence. I didn't have what I needed in order to fry his ass. I didn't have enough proof to say he's a fucking whack job. I didn't have enough time to explain it all. And by the time I had that time to escape with the kid, I wasn't in my right mind to get all of my thoughts in order to explain it all, to make it be believable in any regard. It wasn't until the kid found his voice that the grandparents actually understood. That's how frustrating being with one of these type of people is. And so, if you're new here, yes, I talk about my job. I pour concrete for a living. I love it. It's my life. But of the 200 devoted, 206, I think, is the max I've ever really had, of subscribers, I don't plan to go viral. I don't plan to, hit 100,000. I don't want a little fucking YouTube thingy on the wall. I don't care. This is for those that need, like, that, that normal person that doesn't script their shit. I hot take everything on the phone. I used to, I have Blender. I have a computer. I could upload all this crap and put it up there and fucking dick around with it and spend hours of my life making shit flashy and fancy for you if I wanted to. I don't like it. It's boring and tedious and it's not my job. I have a regular job. Pays me very, very well. And I love that job. But this is just a secondary part of my life that I think that a lot of people who have experienced this kind of crap need to know that it can happen to fucking anybody. And God help me. I work in a very male-dominant environment. And yes, I can emasculate a man in about 5 fucking seconds. As can my little teeny coworker who weighs $105 soaking wet and shit. I don't even think she weighs $105 anymore. Yeah. We drive circles around men. A lot of these young men that come into this environment, they don't know shit about these trucks. Her and I know almost everything about these trucks. She looked at my pickup truck after I got after I got rear-ended, and she just, they're gonna total you out. Why? She goes, the frame's bent. Yep. She was right. She goes, yeah, you can drive it, but they're going to total it out. There's a lot to be said about the relationship dynamics of today's day and age. There was a time back in the day where men were superior and they knew things that women didn't know. They knew things that women didn't understand. In today's day and age, Women understand a lot. We know a lot. That girl that I was watching on YouTube the other day, fixing a car, I'm like, oh my God, I love her. Yeah, I wish I had her knowledge. That way I wouldn't have to call on people to fucking help me. I am hyper independent, but I am not solely independent. There's things where, I have to call on people. It's like there's things that I just don't want to do. So I call the garage and be like, take care of it. Pay the money. And then there's things I wish I knew how to do because I don't want to have to fucking pay the money. Are the roles reversing? Not necessarily. I just think society and evolution has put the conveniences in a perspective where men don't necessarily need to know as much as they used to need to know. And with all the computers and crap that are on cars nowadays, most mechanics, certified mechanics 10 years ago ain't worth a shit now with all of the crap that they have coming out. They have to go through continuing ed probably just as frequently as your medical practitioner. Just saying. And yes, it is nice that women nowadays have a lot more knowledge. Just doing the basics on a vehicle is impressive. 2 other women. Most men, they're like, I'll do your oil change. Yeah. Can I trust you to not disable my vehicle completely to where it's going to cost me a fortune? Nah, never mind. I'll just do it myself. Thanks. Yeah, my sister's ex-husband literally left her oil plug fucking loose. To fuck her. My experiences with toxic relationships and narcissism doesn't solely revolve around my own personal experiences. I've seen it from a distance. A lot of times I don't get on here after work because 1, I don't have time. 2, I don't have time to relax. And yes, a couple of cocktails does help me relax. GLP-1 stifles my tolerance. So yeah, that's only 4. I used to do like 8 of these. But anyway, not bragging, just saying. So yeah. If you're new here, I talk about a lot of everything. I have videos out there just me doing the oil change on the truck, doing the oil change on the bike. I had a whole bunch of clips putting together the stupid tour pack. I did not upload those. God, that was a headache. Anyway, it looks good though. Got a tour pack on my bike. Yay! After the crazy shit that I went through with FedEx. All in all, life is toxic. And you can either deal with it in your workplace, you can deal with it in your relationships, you can deal with it with your car dealer, you can deal with it with your mechanic trying to upsell you or fucking hoodwink you because you're ignorant. Toxicity is overwhelming in every aspect of life. Fuck, my drive home from work is toxic. Because people here in Tennessee don't know how to signal. People here in Tennessee don't know how to drive. People here in Tennessee, a good 80% of them now are not even Tennessean. They are migrants from other states. And yeah, California, I'm calling you out. Slow the fuck down. Calm the fuck down. Chill the fuck out. You in Tennessee. Get your ass up earlier. Stop being in a fucking rush. There's that. Calm the fuck down. There's that. So, the most toxic thing that I have to deal with on a daily basis is misogyny. And it's kind of like reverse misogyny. Because me and old girl, we go in there, clean house. And then we get the rookie guy. Contractors expecting the guy to be as good as the girls. And the guy gets a backlash. Completely emasculated. Because the contractor does not hesitate to tell them, those girls pour better than you. Sorry, dude. We've been doing this a lot fucking longer. Pay attention. Up your game. Don't get offended. Learn. I paved this road. Now you can ride her coattails. Peace.